So, Ryan, I know that you've just kind of wrapped up the school year, but I'm really curious to know kind of what it was like to transition from teaching in the classroom face to face, and then all of a sudden having school kind of put on hold and everything going online. What was that like? And so, how many different classes do you teach? You said you're at the high school level, right? So because you teach at MSAD, right? The Minnesota State Academy of the Deaf. So you're saying that you and Metro Deaf School were collaborating? So you had said on Monday and Wednesday that there were 3 classes, and Tuesday and Thursday 3 classes. Is that right? Did you have like online class? Did you use a video meeting room like Zoom or Google Meets or something? So yeah, I've actually just started using Loom, and it's pretty cool. So you essentially have it set up like what you would have on the board if you were teaching in the classroom, and then you're able to kind of give a lecture about that, and so they can kind of make those connections between the English written word and what you're signing. Is that right? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So did you have, so when you use Zoom, how long would your class meetings meet? And I'm curious if were all the students able to connect? Did they all have good internet connections, or were there kind of some digital haves and digital have-nots? Well, it is. It's kind of the, instead of the dog ate my homework, it's my router's not working. It is interesting. Like my wife teaches too for Duluth schools, and it's a big school district, and it's really, there's a kind of most of the kids, you know, have good access to the internet. They have their own devices, or they have access to devices, but there's plenty of kids who don't. And so the district made a choice not to do anything that, not to require anything that would require the internet, because that would leave more kids behind. But I do also do work in Superior schools in Wisconsin, just across the bridge. And they were able to get devices. They're a smaller district, but they were able to get devices and hotspots to all of their students. So they really were able to kind of use Google Classroom, use Google Meets, and carry on with doing a lot of teaching in a way that Duluth couldn't. And just the other day, I saw the principal of the high school, and he was like, now we won't ever have to have another snow day, because if there's a snow day, we know how to just kind of flip the switch and do stuff online and use Google Classroom and have students working from home. So it was, I mean, it was an interesting thing in terms of thinking about if as districts figure out how to do this and make that transition quickly, it might take away some of the joy of snow days. Up here before COVID, it's always been you just cancel school. And we, you know, in Duluth, we get a lot of snow, hilly roads, and sometimes there won't be much snow down by the lake, but they'll be 2 feet up over the hill. So, I mean, we have a huge district. So, and usually that's just everybody's excited about it. Like to get a snow day, it's like the teachers are happy, the students are happy. So now to think about if you'd have a snow day and then still had to go to work, I know I would be married to one not so happy teacher. What ab- well, I don't know that in Duluth where my wife teaches, I don't think they've even had that discussion. For the Superior School District in Wisconsin, just across the border, that's I think where they're thinking about it. Um, but I think it's too early to tell. You know, we'll see what happens in the, you know, as the fall comes. Has MSA talked at all about what the plan is for the fall? Are they thinking about having students back in the dorms? It is, I mean, I think it's so much more complex to have the dorms and the classrooms. Yeah, because I know that they're talking in Duluth about possibly doing kind of, you know, alternate days where half the students come one day, half the students come the other day. And then Friday is kind of the online prep day for teachers. But even that, Duluth schools have like the class sizes is creeping up to some classes have 40 students in them. So even if they cut that in half, I don't know how they're going to have 20 students in a classroom and still be able to spread out 6 feet apart with all the desks. So there's a lot of questions. Absolutely. I mean, I think about, I mean, deaf culture too, but like do you have deaf blind students as well? Yeah, it is all sorts of. co- COVID-19 is not a very good respecter of deaf culture or deafblind culture. Yeah. Well, this has been interesting to kind of hear your experience teaching in this. I really enjoy talking with you.